Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, we are going to learn about reported speech. Reported statements. When do we use reported speech? Sometimes someone says a sentence, for example, I am going to the cinema tonight. Later, maybe we want to tell someone else what the first person said. Here's how it works. We use the reporting verb like say or tell if the verb is in the present tense. It's easy. We just put she says and then the sentence. For example, I like ice cream. In the reported speech, she says she likes ice cream. We don't need to change the tense, though probably we do need to change the person from I to she, for example. And also, we also may need to change words like my and your. On the other hand, if the reporting verb is in the past tense, then usually we change the tenses in the reported speech. For example, I like ice cream. She said she liked ice cream. Here is some different tenses and the different examples. In the present simple, I like ice cream. She said she liked ice cream. In the present continuous, I am living in London. She said she was living in London. And the past simple, I bought a car. She said she had bought a car. We can use the past perfect here. Or she said she bought a car. The past simple. In the past continuous, I was walking along the street. She said she had been walking along the street. And the present perfect, I haven't seen Julie. She said she hadn't seen Julie. The past perfect doesn't change. I had taken English lessons before. She said she had taken English lessons before. The past perfect doesn't change. With the modals, I'll see you later. She said she would see me later. With would, and it doesn't change also, I would help, but she said she would help, but. With can, I can speak perfect English. She said she could speak perfect English. With could, it doesn't change. I could swim when I was 4. She said she could swim when she was 4. Shall I come later? She said she would come later. Should, it doesn't change also. I should call my mother. She said she could call her mother. With might, and it doesn't change also. I might be late. She said she might be late. With must, I must study at the weekend. She said she must study at the weekend, or she said she had to study at the weekend. Here there is a notice, which is this star where might, should, could, would, and the past perfect doesn't change. Occasionally, we don't need to change the present tense to the past in the information in direct speech is still true. But this is only for things which are general facts, and even then, usually we like to change the tense. For example, the sky is blue. She said that the sky is or was blue because it's a fact. Now, reported questions. So now we have no problem with making reported speech from positive and negative sentences. But how about questions? For example, where do you live? How can we make the reported speech here? In fact, It's not so different from reported statements. The tense changes are the same, and we keep the question word. The very important thing, though, is that once we tell the question to someone else, it is not a question anymore. So we need to change the grammar to a normal positive sentence. Where do you live? So she asked me where I lived. Do you see how I made it? The direct question is in the present simple tense. We make a present simple question with do or does, so I need to take that away. Then I need to change the verb to the past simple. Another example. Where is Julie? She asked me where Julie was. The direct question is the present simple of be. We make the question form of the present simple to be by inverting, changing the position of the subject and verb. So we need to change them back before putting the verb into the past simple. Here are some more examples. The direct question, where is the post office, please? She asked me where the post office was. Or, what are you doing? She asked me what I was doing. Who was that fantastic man? She asked me who wh- who that the fantastic man had been. So much for WH questions, but what if you need to report a yes or no question? We don't have any question words to help us. Instead, we use if. For example, do you like chocolate? She asked me if I liked chocolates. No problem. Here are a few more examples. Direct questions. Do you love me? He asked me if I loved him. Have you ever been in Mexico? She asked me if I had ever been to Mexico. Are you living here? She asked me if I was living here. And now for the reported requests. There is more. What if someone asks you to do something in a polite way? For example, close the window, please. Could you close the window, please? Would you mind closing the window, please? All these requests mean the same thing, so we don't need to report every word when we tell another person about it. We simply use ask me plus to plus infinitive. For example, she asked me to close the window. Here are a few more examples. In the direct request, please help me. She asked me to help her. Please don't smoke. She asked me not to smoke. Could you bring my book tonight? She asked me to bring her book that night. Could you pass the milk, please? She asked me to pass the milk. Would you mind coming early tomorrow? She asked me to come early the next day. To report a negative request, use not. For example, please don't be late. She asked us not to be late. In the reported orders. And finally, how about if someone doesn't ask so politely? We can call this an order in English. When someone tells you very directly to do something, for example, sit down. In fact, we make this into report speech in the same way as a request. We just use tell instead of ask. In the report speech, she told me to sit down. the direct orders here. Go to bed. He told me, he told the child to go to bed. Don't worry. He told her not to worry. Be on time. He told me to be on time. Don't smoke. He told us not to smoke. Time expressions with reported speech. Sometimes when we change direct speech into reported speech, we have to change the time expressions too. We don't always have to do this. However, it depends on when we heard the direct speech and when we say the reported speech. For example, it's Monday. Julie says, I'm leaving today. If I tell someone on Monday, I say, Julie said she was leaving today. If I tell someone on Tuesday, I say, Julie said she was leaving yesterday. If I tell someone on Wednesday, I say, Julie said she was leaving on Monday. If I tell someone a month later, I say, Julie said she was leaving that day. So, there is no easy conversion. You really have to think about when the direct speech was said. Here is a table of some possible conversions. Now becomes then or at that time. Today we can say yesterday, that day, Tuesday on the 27th of June, etc. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, the day before Wednesday, the 5th of December. Last night, the night before, Tuesday night, and etc. Last week, we can say the week before or the previous week. For tomorrow, we can say today, the next day, the following day, on Friday. That was the lesson of the report speech for today. Hope you all understand it, and if there is any question, you can contact me.